What is up, rockers? Welcome back here to another content. Today, we are going to talk about Archer investment for free-to-play and as well as spenders. Now, we're not going to talk about the Krakens, the whales, because you guys can max out everything. The spenders I'm going to tackle today is going to be the medium spenders, all right? That means you're not going to be able to max out on everything, and we need to maximize things for you. Investment in here, some of the stuff that I've invested before are practically useless now. Not knowing this will definitely hurt you a lot, and by listening and watching to the entire video, it can definitely save you some sculptures and definitely put you in a better position in Rise of Kingdoms. Today, this video is actually requested by Cyrus Jaeger. So today, thanks to him, I am making this video. Just remember, whenever you leave a comment in our videos, I do read them. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, don't forget to do so. Let's try to reach that 100K subscribers and get a new milestone this year. And don't forget, if you enjoy this content, if you find this very helpful, definitely just press like onto the video. It's free and it's helpful. And let's get on to the video. So I upgraded my old chair into this new Titan Evo 2022 series. This is the Flash design. I have a link in the description if you want to get one. So here's some of the things that I love about this chair. This chair, you can literally tilt it. You can also pretty much lie flat with this, like all the way. Let's look at this. And if you want to take a nap, you can definitely do it. Like, oh my goodness, it feels so comfortable. And some of the things that I love about this is that these are like magnetic. Like you can literally take it off and you can swap it out with something else and you can clip it back in. Magnetic. You can move it and look at this up and down. You can do side by side as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this. Wow. You can lower it and you can also lock the tilt like this. There we go. I can't move anymore. And I can unlock it to where I can move back and forth. Something I love about this also is that this pillow is magnetic. You can see it just attaches there, and I can just remove it if I don't want it, or attach it if I want it. All right, guys, so let's talk about free-to-play, all right? So first thing that we're going to talk about is YSG. This is the commander. This is the ultimate commander that you should have first. Now, as an Archer player, as a player that is going to invest into Archer strictly, YSG, big thing, all right? The thing that makes YSG so unique is the circular AoE. As you can see, once you have expertise, YSG damage up to 5 enemy troops in a circle shape area. That's going to allow you to do one amazing thing: barb chaining. That means you're going to hit other barbarians using the AoE in a circular area. It is going to be much easier, and you're going to do a lot of barb chaining with this method. We have videos for this. Make sure to watch it as well. Now, YSG definitely brings a lot of punch in the battlefield as you are going to hit them with the AoE as well. So YSG will definitely work in the barbarians when you're grinding, and as well as in the battlefield. As you can see, I have 793 million barbarian kills on YSG alone and 42 million kills with YSG. All right, this is the #1 to invest as a free-to-play, YSG. And you know what? Let me just put it straight up in here. #1 to invest among everybody, whatever playing style you're doing, YSG is good. Now, as you're progressing into the next commanders, you might look into El Cid. This is a gold key commander. I would not even touch this. Seeing this, that I have maxed this out, I kind of regret it. But at the same time, I cannot say that I regret it, because when I maxed out El Cid, there were no options for future commanders. When I first started back in 2018, 2019, there wasn't really new commanders released yet. So I had no choice but to max out El Cid, because he was the next best thing that I could get for archers. But knowing this now, the knowledge that I'm going to give you, if you're playing now and starting fresh, El Cid is something that you want to avoid and not really max out. Now, considering Puddle Cakes might disagree, but I doubt he's going to use El Cid anymore, especially with all the new commanders that have come out. El Cid is becoming a bench warmer, a water boy. That's all he is now. Look at that big arm. It's for water. He's serving you water, okay? Next thing that you're going to look into is the Commander Edward of Woodstock. This commander, all right? This one is a free-to-play. I would say avoid it. It will get targeted easily in the battlefield. There is no ability to absorb a lot of damage with Edward. Gets melted easy. Avoid it. Now, I'm going to talk about Edward again in a little bit in here as we talk about Into the Spenders, because I have a pretty good stats on Edward, and I don't really regret getting Edward. But for the free-to-play, it's going to be much harder for you guys to invest into commanders compared to people that are actually spending. So you need to be a lot more strategic, all right? Strategic. All right, you need to be more strategic in your approach. You cannot just randomly invest in the commanders because it's gonna hurt you a lot big time. All right. The next commander that we're gonna talk about. So the next commander that's gonna come out is going to be Tomyris. Now, Tomyris, you can actually obtain Tomyris if you want as a free to play. Now, here's the thing. It's gonna be hard because if I remember this correctly, Tomyris is a Mightiest Governor event commander. So since you have not been competing, you're banking up everything. Perhaps you can try to compete for Tomyris for this if you can, or you can also get Tomyris from the Card King. If you can really get into the MGE, at least just unlock it, you can invest in Tomyris. I don't think this is a bad commander because I'm gonna talk about a few things that you can invest eventually. So Tomyris, I think it's a good investment. You gotta hoard for it. You gotta try to compete for it. All right, but this is optional if you can only get the commander that we're going to talk about later. That is going to be the real pairing for Tomyris. Now, the next commander that's going to be released is Ramessess. This is a commander that I would really, really recommend. So if you cannot get Tomyris, or you don't have enough sculpture from Tomyris, which I think you should be able to as a free-to-play, if you're grinding a lot, doing Ark of Osiris every 2 weeks, and you're winning in the KVK, you're getting all those sculptures to, for success, definitely. I think you can do it. But here's the thing, Ramessess is definitely a must. You get Ramessess, you pair it up with the best pair that you can do is with YSG. Ramessess with the attack talents. This is the recommended talent tree that I would tell you right now. So Ramessess is something that you need to obtain, able to tank, has some great ability in the battlefield, great skill, great defense reduction as well towards the enemy. All right, Ramessess is a must to get. Now, Tomyris is optional, as I mentioned, but if you are going to go to this path, eventually you're like Card King, you obtain Tomyris, you're backtracking, get it? Now, if you can obtain Artemisia, I think Artemisia is already on Card King as well. Artemisia is definitely, I think, is a must for archers. Now, it's not just because her ability to fight in the open field and you can pair it with Tomyris, but Artemisia can also work really well in your garrison. I will recommend Artemisia to the death because Artemisia can defend your base or defend your city, and you are going to be like so lucky that you did invest in Artemisia. You can do an Artemisia YSG into your garrison. It will work. Of course, it's not going to be working as strong as if you have other commanders, right? But for Archer setup in here, Artemisia YSG will be definitely really, really good. All right? Now, the next commander that is going to come out is like Cyrus the Great, I believe. Cyrus the Great, this is a commander that I regret maxing until now. I wish I never maxed it out. But if you are watching this video, you can 100% try to avoid Cyrus the Great. Don't even put sculptures. Don't even spin for it. It's a waste. I don't think it's going to be helping you in the long run. Now, for free-to-play, there are commanders like Gilgamesh and Nebuchadnezzar. Here's the thing, guys. I don't want you to invest in any conquering commander. Even though they perform well in the battlefield, in open field, conquering commander will not serve you huge advantage. I would rather for you to invest in a garrison commander, because if you do get zeroed, at least you have some fighting capability. Your conquering commander will do you no good if you get attacked on your base. It will happen. You'll get zeroed. I got almost zeroed. It happened. So it can happen to you as well, right? So it's better to invest in a defense commander, garrison commander as a free-to-play player. Now, the next commander that I would say if you can get, this is from the Wheel of Fortune, I would say get Boudica. Boudica will definitely give you a lot of fighting power in the battlefield. I want to say Amanitore as well, but I feel like I'm pushing you guys too much or too far. if you're a really good free-to-play and you can really grind it out, if you can obtain a Amanitore in the MGE, then that's amazing. But if not, it's okay. This will be really good in your garrison. But I think you can definitely like hoard into your gems and get Boudica once Boudica is released. So there are commanders in here like Thutmose. Don't even max it out. Get it from Gold Key. And Henry, I won't even worry about this. This is conquering. So this is pretty much all of it for free-to-play. I think this is very helpful. Just to summarize this, really get YSG, Ramessess, Tomyris optional, Artemisia if you really can. I do really recommend Artemisia. Boudica Prime, of course, get Boudica Prime. And then Amanitore if possible. If you can do it, get Amanitore. All right, so now let's talk about the medium spenders. Now, I'm not trying to talk about those people who spend a lot of money, okay? So if you're a spender, if you're a whale, you can probably max out everything, but this is for the players who wants to like work their pace into the game, but not maxing out every commander and trying to maximize to the best archer commanders that they can get. So let's start this from the beginning for this one. Of course, get YSG, same reasoning I've talked about for the free-to-play. Get YSG. YSG has that circular area AoE. Definitely going to give you a lot of benefit in the early KVK. And as I've mentioned before, I got a lot of kills from YSG. And you want to get a lot of kills if you're spending a lot of money, or not a lot of money. If you're spending some money into the game, you want to get great result. So get YSG. This is definitely an important commander for your investment in the game. Now, next thing that I would recommend, okay, I'm not going to recommend El Cid, the same stuff. El Shit, we're not going to talk about that. Don't get El Cid. If you eventually max it out in the gold, gold chest, then great. But you don't need El Cid, honestly. Edward of Woodstock, this will definitely be a good option for you in KVK, I believe KVK 2 which comes out, or KVK 3. This is definitely a great investment for you to get, because I remember when I got Edward, I was so happy because I was able to knock out those infantry. I was doing an Edward YSG at before when I got Edward. And I've shown you this a little bit earlier. As you can see, I even have about close to 30 million kills on Edward. Edward is great. I love Edward. But here's the thing. Here's the deal. As you play to the late game, Edward loses its value. So if you're really needing that help to win that KVK that you're in when Edward is released, then you can max out Edward. But just keep in mind that at the end, Edward drops its value and it becomes so much like partially unusable in the long run. So you have to just understand that there's a consequence on investing on Edward of Woodstock. You get the big benefit, but at the end, you lose the value. Now, let's talk about Tomyris, as Tomyris will be the MGE when Edward is released. I believe Edward is Wheel of Fortune. All right, so Tomyris, this is a commander that I would recommend for you if you are spending. You have more flexibility compared to the free-to-play. For free-to-play, it kind of is optional what I've mentioned. I think for you as a spender, you should be able to get Tomyris. Compete for the MGE, obtain Tomyris, max it out. Poison stack is great. You're going to contribute into your kingdom whenever you're doing poison stack in the battlefield. Now, I would say you can hold off on Tomyris. You can definitely do Edward and Tomyris. But the best pair that you can definitely do with Tomyris is when Artemisia is out. So the next commander that will come out is going to be Ramessess. Ramessess, definitely get it. This is kind of like your pace gonna get a little bit faster as well. You gotta understand there's a rotation anyway. You have time to build up and wait, right? So get the Ramessess as well. Ramessess is gonna be in the Wheel of Fortune. Amanitore. Artemisia is going to be in the Mightiest Governor, I believe. So get Ramessess and max Ramessess out. This is going to be a little bit more expensive at this stage because you're going to max out two commanders, or you're going to work on two commanders. Ramessess and YSG is the ultimate meta pair for that. Now, when you get Artemisia, Artemisia will be amazing to pair with Tomyris. So what happens to your Edward? Edward kind of sits into the bench for now. Or you can do, I don't know. Edward's going to sit on the bench for now, so I don't know. I don't think you can do anything with Edward at this point. I would run with Artemisia and Tomyris, all right? And Artemisia build is going to be this way. This is a good build that I'm going to recommend for you. This is what I have done. With my Artemisia, I have lesser kills in here because I've also stopped garrisoning. since I've lowered my spending when Artemisia have came out, because the gears came out and everything came out. So Artemisia is really good. I would highly recommend Artemisia to you if you're especially a garrison captain in your kingdom or in your alliance. And another thing is that investing in garrison commanders is never a bad thing, because it will help you if you do get attacked in your base or in your city. Artemisia can definitely protect your city. All right, so getting Ramesses and Artemisia. Cyrus the Great, again, I've mentioned this in the free-to-play. Don't get this. I wouldn't even recommend for spenders to get Cyrus the Great, because it's really not the best thing that you can obtain in the game. All right? Now, the next commanders that are going to come out are Gilgamesh and Nebuchadnezzar. I think Neb comes out first and then before Gilgamesh. Now, these commanders, you can obtain them. Gilga will probably be a better option if you wait. You can obtain these if your role in the game is a rally leader. If you're not a rally captain, don't get it. There's no value for that. It really gives you a lot of value if you are the captain. Yes, Gilgamesh and Neb can play or can work in the battlefield, open field, but the biggest thing that you should think about is that if I get these, I gotta be doing rallying, right? So this is why I never obtain Gilgamesh and Neb, because I don't get to play the role of a rally leader anymore. Not like back then. So I did not invest in Gilgamesh and Neb. Because of that reason, I don't see any value, and I don't think you should as well, because you can invest in other commanders that will save you more money, because I know you're going to be buying stuff, more gems, right, for other better commanders in the future. So if you're a rally captain, invest in these. If not, avoid it. All right? So after that, I think Amanitore will be the one who comes out. So Amanitore, this is something that I want you guys to get. Get this. Get Amanitore. Get into the MGE. Apply for it if it's a fixed MGE. Amanitore is a great garrison commander. It will help you if you get rally. Do a Amanitore Artemisia combination. Here's some talent tree that you can do. This is for garrisoning, and this is if you want to fight in the in the open field. All right, so get Amanitore, great commander, and eventually you're going to have some pairings in here that you can do as well, as we're going to suggest more to you. Now, the next thing that are going to come out, I believe, is the last, okay, I think this is the last commander that are going to come out in here, all right? It's going to be like Boudica Prime, Thutmose, and Henry. Now, I'm going to tell you, Boudica, this is something that you want to get. I got Boudica maxed out. You need to max it out as well. Boudica deals great, amazing damage in the battlefield. And what I'm doing here right now with Amanitore is actually I'm doing a Amanitore and Boudica Prime combination. Amanitore is a great commander, great field commander as well, and pairing it up with Boudica makes a great synergy. If you're thinking about Henry, I mean, Henry is great, but okay, we're not a Kraken in here, so you can only invest in a few things in here, right? So my advice for you, the same thing, just simple. If it's a conquering commander, if you're not rallying, just don't get it. Get a garrison instead, because garrison can help you better than a conquering commander. All right, Henry, if you are going to rally flags, fortress, or cities, then you can get Henry. All right, then that's your own choice. But I would not recommend this for spenders, because you're overspending at this point if you're trying to get every commander. The whole point of this video is to guide you to the best value that can help your account to progress in a better situation in the game. So with that being said, I think we've given you a lot of information in here that can help you out in the game. Thutmose, don't max it out. Gold key, same thing as El Cid. Max it out if you can in gold key. Guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys find this very helpful. Smash like onto the video. Subscribe if you have not done so. And if you guys have any suggestion on videos, remember, I read the comments. Leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you again next time.